So I'm gonna go through all the crochet stuff I made this year, and finish, not stuff I abandoned. So, and I'm in a crochet corner with some of my past crochet projects, because obviously. And I want better lighting than my last video, but I don't think that'll work. Also, nice stairs. So first thing I made was a Christmas blanket with a teal border. And it was a granny stitch. It was fairly boring, but yeah. Next thing I made was a bright colored, kind of chunky hexagon cardigan. It's like, obviously I'll include photos. I should probably have room to do that. But I was kind of on a hexagon cardigan kick, but not, actually no, I was. I can't say I kind of was, I definitely was. But it was chunkier yarn that I had used than I have used in the past for my hexagon cardigans. And I tend to add borders to all my cardigans and basically everything I make. And then next thing I tried to make was an amigurumi peep. And I am like notoriously bad at amigurumi. Not awful, but not like amazing. But I also want to improve on that in 2026, but I don't know how well that'll work out because I don't have that many amigurumi plans for 2026 as per my last video. Yeah. Then I made one of my favorite projects of the year. Sorry, I just like ate dinner. Was an egg like bag. I wanted to say tote bag, but it's not quite a tote bag. And I had made it using a pattern for, I should do a better angle, but my arm will get tired. But it was using a pot holder pattern that I just ended up adding straps to, like made two of the pot holders, added something to keep it together so it wasn't totally flat, and then ended up making it a bag. I made it. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. That was a fun one to make. I made that in March. I think when I was on spring break from teaching, when I was still teaching. I am not teaching anymore. Tragic. I know. And then next thing I made was a scrap blanket. One of the, I think only two, no, I made 3 scrap patterns or scrap projects this year. The blanket was my only scrap blanket that I had made this year, or scrap blanket, and I thought it was really cute. I will include a photo. I will try and include a photo from that scrap blanket in the apartment I was living in at the time. So I thought that was a cute photo. And it was around Valentine's Day I still had Valentine's Day decorations up when I had finished it. Then I made a scarf with some hand-dyed yarn. I don't remember where I got the yarn, but it was very festive for the time. Actually, no, it wasn't because it was made in April. But it was with puff stitch. And I really like puff stitch for scarves. And that was a cute scarf that I made with the puff stitch. Kitty did decide he was going to get to it, and it's a little like scratched up, but that's fine. I did make another puff stitch scarf. This one was like blue with other flecks of color in it. I really like this one. This one's really cute. I don't know where I got that hand-dyed yarn either. I'm really bad at remembering where hand-dyed yarn is. I got it from. I'm not gatekeeping, I just forget. Also, forgive me if I pause a lot. I do live with my parents and they do talk to each other. I'm sorry. And I don't think they know I'm filming right now, so that's also a thing. Milo is also in his litter box right now. I'm like right next to his litter box, so I am so sorry. the lovely sounds of having a cat. Milo's great though. He's a wonderful little boy. Even though he's still under 2 and is still in this crazy phase. It's fine. Anyways, the next project I did was, I call it the Wicked sweater. Hi! Where it looks like it's inspired by Wicked, but I did it very unintentionally. It's a hexagon cardigan again, but made with Karen Cake's ombre cakes. I really like it. It's really cute, but I never wear it. But that part of the reason for that is I'd made it near the end of me getting laid off this year. And at that job I got to wear whatever I wanted. Well, not whatever, but it was like no uniform, basically. And so I made that around that time with the Karen Cake's ombre cakes, and it looks like it's from Wicked because it's green and pink. Also, sorry, I'm looking at my iPad for these pictures. And yeah, it's really cute. I haven't really been able to wear it though, tragically. Next things were these amigurumi tulips, which I think are really cute. The first ones were red and white. But they kind of look like wontons, but whatever. I still like them. Okay, next things I made were some more tulips, but these were like the red heart neon stripe yarn and brown yarn, because these were like more scrap yarns I had laying around my house, or my parents' house. I don't own the house. I'm poor. And I think these are really cute. And then I have this picture of like all of them together that I had made. I kind of want to make keychains out of them. That would be really cute. Next thing I made were these loaf cats. Except they're kind of like, they look kind of wonky, and I didn't do that on purpose, but I still think they're kind of cute. And they're made with like brunette velvet yarn in this like purpley shade. I think they're cute. I made only a few of them, but like a handful, and they're still cute. And I made some of the purple scrunchies with the same yarn. Also cute. I don't know if I like those types of scrunchies or the Juicy Couture scrunchies more, but I also worked with the Juicy Couture less because I just discovered it like last year, and then shortly after Joann's closed. Or no, in 2023, and then Joann's closed. And that was a bit of a tragic thing. Then I made a keychain with one of the tulips, and now my mom has it. It's one of the red tulips, and she really likes it. I was originally going to give it to my sister, but then my mom was like, no, that's too big, I'll use it instead. So she has it now. And then I made some star bags with yellow and like dark blue yarn, navy blue. And I thought they were kind of cute. I just have to weave in the ends on those, but whatever. And then I made more scrunchies. Again, purple, and then there's like really bulky, like bright pink. I don't know if I like the bright pink one as much. More scrunchies. This was the like pink and green ones. They are, I think it's Bernat yarn too. Maybe it's Michael's. I don't know. Again, I'm queen of forgetting. And then I made 2 scrap blankets this year. I made another one. That one's granny stitch. And I made it after I was laid off, which is unfortunate. I was laid off from teaching like 2 months before I finished this. I really like that one. It gets a lot of use. Right now it's sitting on like the side of a couch love seat, sitting there. And my next project, which is probably one of my favorites, is the star blanket, but made with like sparkly yarns. It's blue, green, and purple, and then a bright green, but 3 of those are sparkly, I really like it. It's really cute. Milo likes it. I love it. And the next project is probably one of my least favorites, which is bad to say. Which is like another scrappy project, but it's a cardigan with like granny's type squares, and made it too short, too small, and I didn't have enough yarn to finish it in like the colors I wanted to do, and have enough of the scrappy yarns. The sleeves I originally made didn't work out. They were like bobble sleeves, and they just didn't work out, and it was disappointing. Then the next project I made is another hexagon cardigan. That's the last one I made this year, which is made with Hobie yarn. They're like Halloween line that they came out with, and I really like that one. I think it's my favorite hexagon cardigan I made this year. It's very Halloween, obviously, because it's the Hobie Halloween yarns, and I really enjoyed it. Then the next project, which ended up being my mom's Christmas gift, is another Granny Square Christmas blanket. This time a little different than the one I made, the first one I finished this year. And I really like this one. The border is like dark green with like X stitches. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what this stitch is called, but I like it. It's the same stitch used in one of my favorite what do you call it, scarves, the autumn chill scarf, and I really like it. It's sparkly, unlike the other one that was not sparkly. And then the next project is Scrappy Sweater project, another Scrappy sweater, but this one's not a cardigan, this one's actually a sweater, and I kind of like this one. I wanted to make it shorter, but I think it was too short. But I also was running out of yarn, and I wanted the front and the back to look the same. So I used what I had and did what I could with it. And then I made a like tree pillow. Also ended up wonky like my Peep amigurumi. But I like it. I think it's actually kind of cute. Honestly, it's kind of like got character. I think that's why I keep most of my amigurumi funky, is because it has character, and I like the character it has. I was going to add a star to it. I just didn't end up doing that because I like made it not long before Christmas. Like, what's the date on it? Like 5 days before Christmas I had like finished it, and I didn't have time because I was working my regular job. Just kidding, it is my regular job. And I work like about 40 hours a week at that, and this is just, I didn't have the time, and I had worked like Christmas Eve as well, so I just didn't have time to make the star. I was iffy on it as is, and just, yeah. And then the last project I finished was the blanket from my great aunt, which is, it felt like it took forever to finish, but I don't think it actually took that long. It took maybe a month or so to finish, which isn't that bad. And yeah, just felt like forever because I wanted to do other projects instead, but I didn't, because I'm going to give it to my great aunt after I weave in the ends. So that's all I have to do for that one. And I finished that like a few days ago. Like, today is Tuesday, and I finished it on Sunday. So yeah. And that's all the projects I made this year. All the crochet projects I made this year. I finished like one knit scarf, and I'm not that proud of it, so I'm not going to show it. But yeah, that's all I did this year.